identity. When we're born, we're like a blank hard drive, and through our life's experiences and our filters, we basically create our identity. So anything that can be created can be changed, right? So between the ages of 0 and 7 are like the key years that we really create our identities, and sometimes we create character traits or habits that don't serve us, or maybe serve us when we're younger, but they don't serve us as an adult. But they're patterns of thought and behavior, and we keep reliving them even though they don't serve us anymore. So sometimes it's good to take a look at our life and see what's working, what's not working, and what we want to change, what we want to fix, how we want to grow and move forward. And it's completely possible to change the aspects of the personality. And I also want to say that I think environment is has a really powerful impact on our thoughts and our behaviors, because we go through life with the same routine. So we wake up in the morning and we get ready for work, we go to work, we go home, we have dinner, and it's because we're reliving the same actions and the same patterns in the same places, we're having the same thoughts over and over and over. And those same thoughts create or contribute to who we are as a person. And if we want to start changing, we have to change the way that we think about the world and how we move through the world, so that we're less reactive to our environment and we're more in control internally. So the first, I need to introduce myself. I'm Julie Holmes. I am a life coach and I do hypnosis. I work with people on a conscious and a subconscious level. And I have found that that is the greatest way to make change, and the quickest and best way to make change is to do it consciously and subconsciously. So the first technique that I want to talk to you guys about is a way to do it consciously. And it is a technique from a book called Red Gold. Have you heard of it?
I have. Do you have a copy of that book? Like a PDF copy?
I have a physical copy.
Do you have a physical copy?
This book is
It's
like...
a hard book to find.
It's a hard book to find, but I'll tell you what I did. So this book is like, some people are selling it for like almost $1,000 on Amazon. Okay. I did look it up today to see how much it was going for, and it's anywhere between like $200 and $900 something dollars. So it was written by a sports psychologist that trained the Russian and the East German Olympic victors that swept the Olympics. And so this particular technique is called creating a target self. Did you guys bring like pen and paper? So the technique is called creating a target self. And basically, what you're going to do is you have your present self, which is everything you are now, and then you have your target self. And you want to make a list of all the character traits of your present self that you don't like or you want less of. So start making a list of all of your, are you perfect?
I'm done. Blank slate.
No!
Thank you. It's been nice working with you guys.
So all the character traits that you want less of. So maybe it's, shyness or lack of confidence or too much anger or anything that you feel is not serving you in a positive way. So the next step is to take all of these traits about yourself that you don't like and take each one by one and make them really ugly. So if I keep living like this, how is my life going to get worse if I don't change? So put a story, tell yourself a story, like what is the worst case scenario that's going to happen if you continue with these psychological traits, character traits, patterns of thought and behavior, and make them as ugly as possible.
And write that out.
So once you have this list of all your negative traits and you've made the story of how awful it's going to be if you continue, let it go. Okay? Now we're going to focus on positive traits. Make a list of all the psychological character traits or patterns of thought and behavior that you want more of. You want more confidence, you want to be more motivated, you want... So when you have your list of positive traits, asterisk, let's say 3 to 5 of the ones you really want the most. That'll benefit your life in the most powerful, positive way. What are your top 3?
Decisiveness, relentlessness, and fierce.
Good. How could you be more decisive in your everyday life?
By just not letting my thoughts get in the way. A lot of times the thought gets in the way, and it's like, oh, maybe I should do that, maybe I shouldn't do it, and I just need to cut through that.
Yeah.
That noise, that static.
And decisiveness is so important because it is such a time killer for so many people, and it's like, if you can just make a decision, you'll know if it's the right or the wrong decision, and then you make the other decision, right? So, great. What about you?
I mean, for me, and this is all the positive, correct?
Yes.
I mean, for me, it's be more of a visionary. Like create a vision, and once I have a vision, I'll attack it pretty thoroughly. But it's creating the vision.
Were you the one that said in the meetup?
Plan.
Yeah.
Yes.
God, you should have been here last month.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think they'll do this. So for me, it's the vision is, once I have the vision, I'll get it. And I want to spend more time creating the vision.
Do you meditate?
I don't do guided meditation or any of that, but there is a podcaster who's interviewed hundreds upon hundreds of achievers, and he says one of the common denominators among all of them is there's a lot of guided meditation among them. So that might be one of the tools to help create this vision.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be guided. It can be as simple as listening to the air conditioner.
Yes.
And like focusing on something really boring, and then allowing your thoughts to come and then pass. Yeah, so meditation, whether it's guided or otherwise, even if it's 10 minutes a day, is one of the best ways to sort of tap into that creativity, because you spend less time critically thinking and more time in that space where you're allowing the creative thoughts to come.
Let me ask you, besides just hitting the timer for 10 minutes, doing that 10 minutes, because I do think for me, it's if I can create something simple, I'll do it over and over. So for that 10-minute block, I'll hit the timer on my phone. Any principles, anything I should be mindful of as I do my meditation?
I'm personally, I do more self-hypnosis than I do meditation. I try to do meditation, but so I'm not a master at it, but what I do is as simple as I either turn on brainwave music and just zone out. Like I said, I just focus on nothing, something boring, and just let the thoughts, and so I find that myself, I get my thoughts start coming in really quickly, and I have to be like, oh, nope. Like, nope, you're not in control of me. I'm in control of my mind.
What time of day do you like to do?
In the morning.
Morning, like first thing in the morning.
Yeah. I have an excuse to stay on that. What about you, Monica?
Confidence.
Confidence? That's it? Nothing else? Be perfect otherwise?
No. Not the least. Boundaries.
Yeah.
What do you mean by boundaries? What do you mean by boundaries?
I have to learn how to set boundaries with myself and other people.
Do you mind? Are we allowed to ask questions?
Okay.
Like,
She
it's
doesn't have to
interesting.
answer it.
When you say boundaries, boundaries, is it like when I think of boundaries, sometimes I'm not disciplined. Like I shouldn't go out. I should focus on doing vision.
Oh no, boundaries to me is not letting people walk all over me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you seem to be like really wanting to focus on discipline. Is that it?
I mean, for me, I have good. For me, it's vision. I need to do the meditation, spend the alone time with the pen and paper, go to meetings like this, because I think we all have the answer. A
Yeah.
meeting like this is going to be the trigger,
Yeah.
the catalyst, the question. So
Journaling too. I would say a
Yes.
combination
Yes.
of meditation and journaling.
yes,
Really, really good. Really helpful to tap into that creative mindset. Yeah. Okay, so the last part of this technique is very, very simple. And it is simply to schedule into your day a chunk of time. So like from 12 to 2 p.m., I'm gonna practice being confident. I'm gonna walk around having, being a great decision maker. And you start acting it out and you do it enough and it becomes a part of who you are. It becomes a part of your neurology and then it just becomes a habit. So that's really it. It's scheduling, finding those traits that you want more of, looking at your calendar, scheduling, I'm gonna put this in from this day, from this time to this time, and I'm gonna walk around work and I'm gonna be the most confident bitch that anyone has ever seen. Whatever it is for you. So that's it. So practice it. And then I wanted to teach you another technique. Have any of you heard of instant influence? Okay. So instant influence was created by, it's a series of questions, of 6 questions to ask yourself. And it was created by a researcher named Mike Pantalone. And what it's meant to do is to take you from resistance to motivated in 7 minutes or less. And this could be motivated to quit a bad habit. So I believe they're using this technique in emergency rooms in San Diego when like addicts come in, they've had like an accident or something, to get them to like quit being an alcoholic or quit being a drug addict. So you can use it to like generate motivation or get rid of that habit. So can each of you think of something in your life that you've been wanting to do but just haven't been? You think of something you've been telling yourself, oh, I need to do this, or I really should do that, but for whatever reason, you haven't. Does everybody have something? Yeah? Okay. If you want, we can do a demonstration, and then I can just tell you what all the questions are. Do you want to do it?
sure.
Okay, what is it you want to do?
It's pretty dry. Systematize my law practice.
Systematize what?
Systematize my business, my law
Okay.
practice.
What's your business?
Attorney?
Okay. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 meaning I don't want to do it, and 10 meaning I really want to do it, where are you right now?
In terms of enthusiasm for doing it, or like the why I want to do it?
Enthusiasm.
Probably a 6.
Okay. Well, why didn't you pick a lower number?
Why didn't I? Because I'm thinking about it daily.
Yeah.
But you're saying I should pick a lower number? You're suggesting?
No, I'm asking why didn't you pick a lower number?
Because I think, it's interesting. Like from a 1 to 10,
Yeah.
I never pick a 7 because 7 doesn't really tell me what's going on. A 6 or an 8. 6 tells me I want to do it, but I haven't taken the action. 8 tells me I want to do it and I've been taking the action. So with this, it's been a priority, but not enough of a priority that I'm doing it first thing in the morning, just doing it. So that's why I think I give it a 6, because I appreciate the why, because it's going to free me up by creating these systems, but I haven't put it as a priority.
Okay.
So
So now I want you to imagine that you've already made these changes
Yes.
in your business. What would the positive outcomes be?
It would give me freedom because by putting in systems, it creates discipline that things run on autopilot. So therefore, I don't have to be as involved, which frees me up to do some more of this meditation.
So it would free you up so that you would have more time for meditation?
Correct.
And so why is having more time for meditation and being freed up, why is that so important to you?
Because I believe in order for me to keep growing, I need to have more of a vision. The meditation will lead to a vision which will allow me to drift less and go towards a peak more.
Meditation will lead you to be able to drift less and
Meditation will lead me to a vision,
to a vision,
which will give me the peak,
which will give you the peak,
which will prevent me from drifting.
which will prevent you from drifting.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the next step for you to take, if any?
Next step is, and someone gave me a great idea, instead of me creating the systems, I have my assistant. Let her create the systems, which is empowering for her, and also creating systems is not my strength, it's more her strength.
Yeah.
So I think that's the next step. I just have to spend 30 minutes putting together an email, asking her to.
So you just have to spend 30 minutes putting together an email?
That's it. That's it.
Delegation.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah, I need an assistant.
So now that you know you just have to spend 30 minutes
you
to create an email to send to her, how motivated are you now?
I think after this class, that's what I'm doing.
Definitely.
High five you up.
That makes you a better boss.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so this is the technique, guys. This is it. So I'm going to give you the questions. First question is, why might you want to change? Why might you want to do X? The second question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want to change right now? Why didn't you pick a lower number? And the reason why this question is so powerful is because the brain expects you to think, why don't you pick a higher number? And then you justify why you haven't taken action. But when you say, why didn't you pick a lower number? You think, well, because I want to do it. And then the next question is, imagine that you've already made these changes. What would the positive outcomes be? And then why are these outcomes so important to you? And what's the next step for you to take, if any? And the if any just gives you the autonomy to say, I just still don't want to do it, or I do want to do it.
Why might you want to do X on a scale from 1 to 10? Why didn't you pick a lower number? Why didn't you pick a higher number?
No. There's no why didn't you pick a higher number. It's just
Oh.
why didn't you pick a lower number.
Okay.
So you justify all the reasons why you really want to do it.
And then what's the question after that then?
Imagine you've already made this change. What would the positive outcomes be? And then what's the next step to take it for me? So now that we have some tools and techniques to do stuff on a conscious level, I want to start working with you on a subconscious level.